Alright, today guys we're going to be talking about and showing you the coil spacers we have available at Online Auto Parts. Now this coil spacers are a nice, cheap, easy way to get a bit of lift out of your vehicle. One thing you also got to note, if your vehicle is standard height and you're going to throw a set of coil spacers in there, you will need to upgrade your shocks to a lifted shock. So a standard shock won't work with a coil spacer, so you still need to buy us an extended shock with it. So with this Vitara, it's fairly simple. I've got the car supported. I drop the lower shock bolt out of the shock and then just let the diff drop right down as far as it will go. Right. Now sometimes this job can take 1 or 2 people. It's not sort of a job you want to do by yourself, so you got to get someone to pull down on the diff for you quickly and pop out the spring just like that. Alright, so now we've got the spring out, we're going to set the coil spacer up in there. So as you can see, the coil spacer's got a gap until it gets to the top. So what you've got to do is take out the old spring oscillator pad. Now sometimes these can be pretty tricky to get out because they're stuck in there. Use a little lever. Once you're up, down, that's out. So now once we get that, it's all the way home. With the pad, what I do, let's put it straight back on to the spring in the same position. So just straight back in onto that one there. I'm going to put the coil spacer up in and sit that there like that. So this is where the second person's going to come in, pull down on the wheel for you. Done. Make sure everything's in its home position, and then it's just a matter of repeating that. While I've got this down here, I'm going to take the shock out, replace that because these are still the standard shocks. I'll set of Ultimas up in there and get it all set back up.
Another reason you can put in some coil spring spacers is if you've got the original springs in there and they have sagged over time, you can use them just to bring them back up to height, original standard height. If that's your use case, then you won't need to change the original shock absorbers. So if you're doing that, you're best off just measuring the height of your vehicle currently and seeing what it was when it came out from the factory. Generally you can find those specs online. So yeah, if that's your use case, you're not going to have to change over the shock absorber for that. And you know, this can also help with if the rear is sagging because it's been carrying heavy loads over its life, and it's a cheaper option than replacing the coil springs completely.